If you want to learn how to expand your consciousness to another dimension, you begin by entertaining the possibility that we exist in many different parallel realities and only experience one of these existences presently. In this universe is one great energy that we all are a part of, and we can access different levels and experiences when we train ourselves to do so. In an article regarding infinite and parallel universes from space.com, they state, "We don't know what the shape of space-time is exactly. One prominent theory is that it is flat and goes on forever. This would present the possibility of many universes being out there. But with that topic in mind, it's possible that universes can start repeating themselves. That's because particles can only be put together in so many ways." The article goes on to read, "So with an infinite number of cosmic patches, the particle arrangements within them must repeat, infinitely, many times over. This means there are infinitely many parallel universes, cosmic patches exactly the same as ours, containing someone exactly like you. Your current reality is essentially a snapshot of the dimension you are experiencing. That snapshot is created via the 5 senses. Our senses, especially our vision, creates beliefs and eventually emotions that retain that snapshot as something that's constant, which allows us the experience of a continuous existence in a specific dimension. Here's one way to prove this to yourself. Stand in front of a window that faces the sun and look at your reflection in the glass. Keep staring at your reflection for several minutes. After doing so, turn to stare at any blank wall near you, preferably something that isn't as bright as the window. In doing so, you will see a dark silhouette of a person staring back at you for a minute or so. Our eyes work in this way to bridge our vision over the gaps of non-existence. They will carry over the snapshot, keeping it constant until something new is observed. But what if I told you that you can flash in and out of different dimensions with your consciousness in just this same way with a bit of practice? We're actually shifting on a consistent basis without much awareness of that. Think of your eyesight, what you see from moment to moment, and how that can change very easily. We perceive things from a linear perspective, but in reality, there is only the now moment. We don't actually experience the past or the future. We remember the past and imagine the future. Our memories are rooted in emotion, and that comes up most often, but the only thing we ever experience is now. Individually, your now is the current result of all of your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and the way you've defined yourself. It's your snapshot of reality. But another version of you, a different version with different qualities and experiences, also exists in this moment. That version exists now. Not in the future or in the past, because there is only now. If you think of who you were 5 years ago, you may be able to see that you were a different person in some way or another. But in actuality, you are always experiencing who you are now, moment to moment. To begin expanding your current reality to another dimension, where you can connect with the you that is living the experiences you wish to manifest and begin embodying that, try the following process. To begin, you'll want to ground yourself into the present moment with a breathing technique so that you can reach out or expand your consciousness and awareness from the present moment. Breath work helps us get more into our body and become more aware and focused on the present moment. To do this, find a comfortable place where you can sit upright and be undisturbed for a few minutes. Place your dominant hand on your abdomen and your other hand on your chest, so you can monitor your abdomen rise and fall as you breathe. This will assist you in taking in deep breaths through the diaphragm. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling that breath move through your heart center, and then down into your diaphragm while you count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath while you count to 2. 1, 2. And then exhale the breath slowly through your mouth, feeling it move back up through your heart center while you count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, completely exhaling. Repeat this sequence 3 to 5 times, feeling your abdomen rise and fall as you do, and then relax and keep your breathing smooth and steady as you move on to the next part of the process. As you begin breathing in this more relaxed state, begin to shift or widen your internal lens of consciousness by setting the intention to do so. You can just imagine your consciousness expanding out in all directions. This helps you open your consciousness and awareness to new dimensions and experiences in the same way that your eyes can see new snapshots moment by moment. This isn't a skill you have to acquire, as it's already something you can do naturally. It may only take a little practice to become consciously aware of doing it. And then see in your mind's eye, or what may be called your imagination, how every possible version of yourself can and does exist now. Because there's only now. It may be helpful to develop this skill by noticing what might be considered the past versions of you first, and then moving beyond that timeline to the present and what you might consider to be the future, even though it's all something that you can access now. Find and focus on what you consider to be the version of you that's experiencing the things that you would like to most experience as a physical reality. Once you've found this version of you, study them intently. How does this you act? What habits do they have? What types of people surround them? Where do they live? What does their day look like? How do they walk and talk? How do you imagine they feel about themselves and the world? What do you imagine they think about as the person who lives this reality? What do you imagine they believe about life and about themselves? As you begin to answer these questions, you are consciously adopting those thoughts, beliefs, feelings, attitudes, habits, and behaviors. You may even realize that you are thinking and feeling as this you thinks and feels. Once you've done this, make the decision, either verbally or out loud, that this is now who you choose to be. That you will take the time to fully connect to this version of you so that you become that version. You may state something to the effect of, I now decide that I am the version of me who thinks, feels, and behaves as someone who experiences, and then state your intention. Make the conscious decision in this moment that you enact these things in your mind and in your daily life. In practicing this, you begin to develop a constant quantum snapshot through all of your senses of this you in this parallel dimension. And the more you connect in this way, the more your senses will begin to retain that snapshot and allow you the experience of a continuous existence in that dimension. By shifting or widening the breadth of your awareness, you can begin to experience other parts of your simultaneous dimensional existence. This shift can be accomplished by expanding your consciousness and awareness. And the resulting effect of it can be felt by your senses because this process helps you wire yourself in such a way that you start to think, feel, believe, and act like that version of yourself. This then spills over into your nervous system and conditions the body to make moves towards this version of you, experiencing this reality. It increases the positive emotion, belief, and expectation. That is now who you are. That version of you exists now, and you only have to connect with that and embody it. If you feel as though this new you hasn't taken hold just yet, remember to keep identifying with that you and allow the old version of you with old habits, beliefs, emotions, ways of thinking and acting, and possibly limitations to fade away. If you find yourself still associating with that old version and any qualities that you no longer wish to experience, just simply tell yourself, that was the old me having those thoughts or those behaviors. That is now fading away because I now identify with the new version of me that experiences, and then fill in your intention. Remember to expand your consciousness in such a way that you hold that frame of you. And if you do this for a few minutes each day, you will increase your momentum towards shifting into that parallel reality version of yourself that experiences all the things that you wish to experience.